HanesTaliesin, Penyath Manuscript 111. In ages past, a nobleman who was named Tegidfoel lived in the middle of Lake Tegid, and his betrothed wife was named Ceridwen. And from that wife was born a son who was named Morvran, the son of Tegid, and also a daughter named Creirview, and the fairest maiden in all the world was she. But Morvran was of such ugliness that he was named Avagthi, meaning utter darkness. Ceridwen took to thinking that it would be unlikely for him to be amidst the nobles because of his ugliness, unless there was upon him some skill or honourable knowledge, which were attributes of Arthur and his round table. So she took to the crafts of the books of the Ferrilt to boil a cauldron of awen and knowledge to impart upon her son, so that he be dignified of character for his knowledge and his acquaintance of the world. And so she took to boil the cauldron, and once begun the boiling, it could not be halted until a year and a day had passed, and 3 blessed drops from the prophetic spirit be found therein. She employed a young boy called Gwion-bach from Llanfair and Caerenion in Powys to tend to that cauldron, and a blind man named Morda to tend the fire beneath it, and she entrusted them to not allow the boiling to cease until a year and a day had passed. And she, by means of books of astronomy, and by the hours and the movements of the planets, did gather the beneficial herbs of all kinds. And as Ceridwen was resting from her profits near the end of the year and a day, 3 drops of liquid accidentally leaped from the cauldron onto the thumb of Gwion-bach. Lest he be burnt, he thrust the digit into his mouth, and as soon as those drops entered his being, Gwion-bach knew all that was and all that would be, and he knew also of Ceridwen's fury to come, for great was his knowledge, and in fear of her he took towards his own land, and the cauldron broke in 2 pieces. The water within was now poison, except for the 3 blessed drops. The liquid poisoned the horses of Gwyddno Garanhir, who drank from the estuary whose waters were contaminated by the cauldron. And because of that, the estuary has forever been named Gwenwynferch Gwyddno, the estuary of Gwyddno's poisoned horses. And with that, Ceridwen came forth, and saw that her labours over a year and a day were lost. In her fury she hit Morda, until his remaining eye became loose in its socket, and shouted at him for being so stupid to lose the contents of the cauldron. This is true, he told Ceridwen, but it was Gwion-bach, not I, who ingested the liquid. Knowing this, Gwion-bach took forth in the shape of a hare, and Ceridwen took speed in the shape of a greyhound bitch towards the river Airven. He jumped into the river and became a fish, and she also took to the water in the shape of an otter bitch. But he took to the sky in the shape of a bird, and she took chase in the form of a hawk. She chased him without mercy. Gwion feared he would be caught and killed, and below him he spied a pile of winnowed wheat, and to it he took in the shape of a single grain. Ceridwen relentlessly took the form of a black-crested hen, and with her feet she scratched at the pile until she came upon that single grain, and promptly she swallowed him. And according to the story, for 9 months she was with child, but pity befell her. She could not bring her heart to kill the child who was born so fair, so instead she dressed him within a skin belly coracle, and set him to sail on the 29th day of April. It is written that when Elphin and his people arrived at the weir of Gwyddno Garanhir, they were disappointed to not find any salmon, whereas normally over 100 pounds worth of fish would be found. Instead, they discovered a coracle. Elphin took a knife and cut the skin of the coracle, revealing a radiant human forehead. Upon seeing this, Elphin declared, HanesTaliesin, behold the radiant brow. In response, the child uttered from the coracle, Taliesin, I am.